I took pictures outside of this square. That's the bit that I did. Nowadays, not just in Caithness, obviously all over the place, if you don't smoke and drink and, you know, if you don't have bad behaviour, then you're not normal. But even though that's normal not to smoke, not to drink, but up here, you know, up here and down size and that, if you don't do these things, then you're not normal. Which is a bit like, it's a bit stupid. Because, you know, I don't smoke or I don't drink. But, you know, obviously I'm not outcasted for that, but, you know, people look at me and say, oh, you're a bit weird.
Oh, I see. Right, okay.
See that?
You're getting filmed by me. That was me that came up with this idea.
People look at me and say, oh, you're a bit weird. And it's like, no, you're a bit weird, you're 15. You go out and you get blazing every weekend. I think that's weird to me. But it's kind of turned around now. And that's a bit unusual.
Skip school. Because there's none to do. Boring as well. Nothing to do. There's nowhere you can go. They get in trouble every place. No.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. It was fun. But I think there should have been more people going to it, but it's a bit pathetic.
Yeah, definitely. A lot of people just kind of go along with the crowd because that's just the way they are, I guess. But, you know, they don't really have any problems with it, so they can just get on with it, but it wouldn't be me, definitely not.
No, every bit game was alright, you know, but they could have put a bit more effort into it because we did only have a week, you know.
You know, even if they have filled up their time, they've still got their friends who, you know, are egging them on every night to do these things, do something stupid, smoke, drink, you know, get lazy and stuff like that. It's still there. But maybe to a certain extent it could help a lot of people, you know, get kind of a new circle of friends. It's what, you know, it's how they conduct themselves, and they can't blame, oh, there's nothing else to do but drink and smoke. Well, there's plenty to do. You know, they could go down to the cities and, you know, for weekends and stuff like that if they want to, but they don't have to sit and smoke and drink. I don't think it's an excuse.
Well, it's just peaceful. You know, you can see everything that's going on, but you can see everything. It is a wee bit. When you start, you know, like going with them at the bench, but they give yourself a bad name, you know. People start seeing you with them. Sort of think that you're one, like you're sort of like them. Sometimes, but really you just want to be yourself. Some people do get pressurised.
And you know the cliffs? There's like a really nice like bench up there. I don't know, there's just something really peaceful and tranquil about up there. I really like it. And have you been to the salmon pools? Yeah, really up the top of the river. Oh, you should go, it's so good. Me and my friends go swimming in there. It's really nice.
I have friends from all different kind of groups. You know, you get like the Neds, who everyone says they're bad people, when most of them aren't. They're just misunderstood, really. And then there's, you know, there's moshers, and people think, oh, they're emos and all that. I know people from all different, you know, all these different groups. with my little close friends. But most people, you know, if you do hang about down the street, if you do talk about down the street, that's what they tag you as. You're a Ned. You come from, you know, you hang about down the street, you're really bad. That's the kind of thing people say. So yeah, there is a lot of tagging, you know, name tagging.
I go up most weekends if it's a nice weekend. Usually about 6, 7 of us. Have a picnic and stuff. Me and my friends, other week, it would have been the last week in the summer holidays. We were up there till a good 2 o'clock in the morning, just swimming in the water. It's really, really nice. And really, really, you can take really good photos up there. Because all the water's really peaceful. And there's a stream that goes onto the other bit of the river. It's really nice. It's good to have somewhere quiet to go.
It's quiet. It's definitely the sort of place where you gotta bring a child up, so it isn't quiet. Hardly any crime, you know. You always get the odd little thing, but it's not much. Really quiet place. Everybody knows everybody, so.
Well, I know obviously for me, I think it's stupid cutting your wrist, but I mean, they're in a different frame of mind from me, obviously. They think it's something that they have to do, you know, to hurt themselves to kind of release pain. I don't know, I don't really understand it. But I don't judge people on because they cut their wrists or anything like that. I actually, you know, judge the person because of who they are, not because of what they do and what they dress like. Which is kind of why, you know, I know people from different groups and I don't really tend to stay in one group.
Well, my brother's in the army, just started. No, he just went over. He's only 16. My brother's only 2 years older than me. There you go. Tom, look over my shoulder. Oh, it's not working.
Well, see to them it's just like a sky above a school really. But I just think it's a bit of fun.
Just put sheep in and that's it.
But it was a bit of fun, you know, but it was meant to be fun. But they sort of took the wrong side.
Gives more respect, because I've noticed that older people have no respect for us at all. I mean, old people they look at me if I'm walking down the street wearing what I'm wearing today, and I have a little bit of a strut on me. It's not my fault. It's just they'll walk to the other side of the road because I think I'm going to mug them or something. It's so disrespectful. But I think we could just treat us a bit more like adults and have more respect for us.
still sitting like for hours and hours, doing nothing.
Because yeah, there is some teenagers that are completely are twats and will go and mug you. Not everyone that wears trackies and has strut on them are like that.
Yeah, I think it's just more other people's opinions on them. So obviously over time people have just started making groups, and I mean not necessarily if you hang about with people in that kind of group, the emo group, or you know if you're a mosher or anything like that, you know your hair, your hair's always black and you always wear dark colours, stuff like that. Which most of them do. That's why they're in that group. But not all of them cut their wrists, and not all of them are depressed and stuff like that. Just they kind of, some of them are actually emos, but they all get tagged with the same thing.
There's nobody around my age or out there or anything. But, I mean, there's worse places in the world, so I can't complain.
Yeah, definitely. But I think it makes it worse because other people obviously kind of tag these people because they do that. So they obviously all hang about together and they get badly slagged off for it. But then some people you can understand, they do these things because they are depressed or upset or anything like that. But some people do want attention, so you have to kind of divide the two. Well, a stereotype would be somebody who wears tracksuits who is what's the word? Like the badly behaved. They drink, they smoke, they start fights, things like that. Just bad behaviour.
I think there's enough if you're like new here, but for myself and quite a few people I know, when you've been here for like most of your life, it's a routine that you're getting into, so you do get really bored quite easily because you've been through everything that there is to do. So I do think that there could be more for young people.
It's just somebody, it's short for emotional or something like that, and they cut their wrists because of depression or attention or anything like that. I think that's what Irish and emo is.
I'd like more like things for like teenagers to do, because everyone's complaining how youth today are always on the streets causing trouble, but there's nothing really for us to do. Yeah, I think so. Like, everyone complains about how, mostly like the more rebellious teen is like always on the street, but in Thurso there is literally nothing else for you to do. It's either that or you go home. So it's like you can never please everyone. I think I don't know. I think it's different for different people, but like drugs and alcohol is a huge part of society right now, and all of my friends, we've all sat there and talked about how how drugs are illegal and how alcohol is 18 up. And I think if I've sat there and I was like, if they put alcohol down to like 16 or something, people my age wouldn't be that into it anymore. I know I wouldn't be. I would do it now and again, but it wouldn't be like something that I would like. I wouldn't get a kick out of doing it because I'm not allowed to. I think at the moment it's more because you're not meant to. So I think drugs are just something you do for peer pressure. Not drugs. I mean, the people I used to hang around with, they were like, they were all into it, but they weren't like, oh, you should do it because it's cool and everything. it is like your own decision, and me personally, I'm very stubborn. If I don't want to do something, I won't do it. I do know people who, if someone's like, yeah, you should try it, just see what it's like, they would be like, oh yeah. I know a lot of people around the school that in any situation, not drugs and alcohol, but any situation, if someone says don't do that, something goes off in your head and you're like, I have to do that. I suppose that's not just for kids, I mean, I'm sure adults get it too if someone says don't do that.